Okay, and we are back.
Yep.
We're back for part 2.
Two.
You haven't heard the story yet.
No.
You excited?
Yeah.
Okay, so last time we spoke, Anansi had tricked the government of St. Kitts out of $100,000 and got a whole bunch of monkeys off of St. Kitts, all to Isla Abundancia. Yeah, he thought he got away with it, and he got tired of being rich. And so now, I did say part 2 was coming up, right?
Yes.
So let's get this show on the road. So, welcome to part 2, where Anansi meets his match. Let's get started. So, there's Anansi sitting in this restaurant on Isla Abundancia, enjoying a beautiful pot of goat water.
Yeah.
He's thinking to himself, I want to make more money. He's bored of being rich. And then all of a sudden he notices somebody, a well-dressed man at the restaurant, a sharp suit and confident, and he looks important. So Anansi says, is this a government official? Can I do the same thing again? So he goes over. He says, hello. Forgive me for interruption, but you look like a man of influence. My name's Anansi. Might you be with the government here? Man turns to him. My name's Brown. Eddie Brown. Wait. Anansi? You are the Anansi? The spider Anansi? The trickster with all the stories? Now, Anansi lost recognition. See, his ego gets so big when people start talking about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anansi says, well, yes, you've heard of me. I'm flattered. Eddie says, heard of you? My friend, I grew up listening to your stories. West Africa, that's where I'm from. You see, we tell tales of how you tricked the tiger, you fooled the snake, and even stole stories from God himself. Well, tell me, is it true that you once convinced an elephant that the sky is falling? See, Anansi was so thrilled to have a fan. He launched into the stories and laughing and telling all his adventures to Eddie. But what Anansi doesn't know, and what he can't know, that Eddie Brown is not a human. You see, Eddie was a shape-shifting character from another planet who's been searching for Anansi for years, traveling across galaxies, hunting for the spider who once possessed the legendary gourd of wisdom. See, Eddie's mission was to learn how to build this gourd and collect all the wisdom in the entire universe. But you see, he didn't want Anansi to know his plan. So Eddie says, so what brings the legendary Anansi to our humble island? Anansi says, well, to be honest, I'm in a bit of a predicament. You see, I just came from St. Kitts, where I helped solve their monkey problem. Very successfully, I might add. But the monkeys ended up here, and I don't think they're happy with me. Eddie says, not happy? But why? Let's just say there was a little misunderstanding about paradise and giant fruits, and you know what? It's complicated. Eddie says, you know what you need? The gourd of wisdom. I have heard the legends. Once you had it, it contained all the wisdom in the world. And with that, you would know exactly how to handle your problem. Anansi freezes, his eyes bright. You know what? Yes, I had it once, but technically speaking, it was given to me by the gods. But it broke and shattered when I tried to climb a tree with it, and I lost all the wisdom.
All of them?
Yes. Eddie says, but surely you could rebuild it. You must know how it was made. Anansi says, oh, well, I reverse engineered the design. But rebuilding it, my brother, too much work. Too much work. You need special clay from a sacred river in Ghana, dried under the full moon, goat's milk blessed by 3 elders, and a spider silk woven counterclockwise exactly 67 times. Herbs that grow on mountaintops in a 3-day pottery process with specific chants. Well, who has time for that? Besides, I've done pretty fine without it. Eddie's mind is racing. He's memorizing everything. This is exactly what he came for. Well, my friend, fate must have brought us together. I happen to be a pottery enthusiast, and I know of a clay here in Island Abundancia that's gonna work just fine. So what if I helped you rebuild this gourd? Think about it. All the wisdom you would have. Your monkey problem solved. Your next business venture revealed. Everything you need to know right at your fingertips. Anansi now looking greedy. You would help me? But why? Eddie says, because I'm a fan, Anansi. To help the legendary trickster? To see the gourd of wisdom rebuilt? That is an honor. Give me 3 days and I'll gather everything you need. Meet me here same time. Anansi says 3 days? Well, guess what? They exchanged numbers and Anansi was really excited at what could happen. So Anansi goes outside the restaurant and waiting under the street light is guess who?
King Julian.
King Julian. But this time he was not looking happy. Hello, Anansi. Your Majesty, what a pleasant surprise. I was just... Save it. I've been waiting for you. We need to talk. And Julian unleashes all the anger. Everything he had, cursed him out. But Anansi, knowing fully well that he was in the wrong, had no choice but to listen. Put your feet here. He had no choice but to listen. He says, listen, I can help you. Just give me, he says, you promise? I don't trust you. But wait. If you're promising food, because guess what? This island didn't have the food you'd promised. There's nothing on here for us. But if it's food, maybe I will listen. And Anansi says, give me 1 week. And they agreed to meet the next week. Meanwhile, while Anansi was pondering and scheming, Eddie was having a different plan. You see, Eddie wanted to make sure nothing happened to Anansi before they could build his gourd. You can't have angry monkeys ruining everything. So Eddie does what the shapeshifter do. Guess what he did? He transformed into a monkey. Very good. The perfect disguise. He finds King Julian in the forest and introduces himself as Eduardo, a monkey who recently arrived on the island. And Julian, desperate for allies, welcomes him. Your Majesty, I've heard rumors about how your people came to this island. Something about a spider and a cruise ship? That spider. He showed us a video, a beautiful video of paradise, giant fruit, no competition. We believed him. We left our home. And it was lies! Eddie listens to the story, and despite his sinister agenda, he couldn't help but be impressed. The AI video, the cruise ship, the invisible ink, the schemes, Anansi was more brilliant than he thought. But Eddie sees an opportunity, so Eddie says, Your Majesty, what if I told you? I can help you get revenge on Anansi, and you will become wise beyond your wildest dreams. King Julian says, revenge? How? Patience. Just give me a few days, but trust me, Anansi will get exactly what he deserves. So, a couple weeks later, I think it was about a week, 3 days actually, Anansi and Eddie meet at Eddie's workshop. Really, he just rented a space with pottery equipment, but Eddie had everything ready. The clay, the herbs, even the goat milk. And say they work for hours and spinning and kneading and chanting and weaving. And Nancy says, I finally feel like I'm going to have all the wisdom and know how to handle Jillian and make even more money. Eddie thinks, perfect. Once this is complete, I would have the blueprint and I can build on every planet and get all the wisdom across the universe. After 3 days, the gourd was complete. Anansi says, it's beautiful, but Eddie, how do we fit all the wisdom in here? That's the part I never figured out. Eddie says, that's where the monkeys come in. You see, the monkeys are humanity's ancient ancestors, and they possess all the original knowledge passed down from the gods: battle strategies, survival instincts, natural wisdom accumulated over millions of years. They just don't have the key to unlock it. But you see this gourd and this key? The key is in this gourd. I've added some iron dust to the clay, which makes it conductive. So when the monkeys touch the gourd, their wisdom transfers directly into it. Anansi's eyes gleaming. So we need the monkeys to touch the gourd and all of them? Eddie says, exactly. Can you arrange that? Anansi says, I have an idea. Anansi makes some special calls to St. Kitts. He brings all the fruits from his farms, mangoes, bananas, breadfruit, so much. And he contacts King Julian with an offer. Your Majesty, I want to apologize properly. Let me host a feast, a banquet. All of the fruit your people can eat, a ceremony of forgiveness. Now, Julian is suspicious, but his people are hungry. The clearing is packed. The fruit, oh, so much fruit. Everything Anansi promised the first time is finally here. Baby monkeys rolling around and everyone just so happy, and at the center of it all, the special gourd. Anansi says, my friends, King Julian, Merville, Mort, Nikki, all of you, I have wronged you. I have showed you a false paradise. I've deceived you, and for that I am truly sorry. Tonight, we feast, but more than that, we heal. This gourd before you is special. You see, in West African tradition, when two parties seek reconciliation, they perform a ceremony of understanding. Everybody, including me, touches this sacred vessel. It symbolizes new beginnings, forgiveness, and peace. Will you join me in the ceremony? Will you forgive me? Will we move forward together in peace and harmony? The monkeys look at each other. They look at Julian. Julian, remembering his conversation with Eddie, who told him just to play along with Anansi's plan, he nods slowly. We will participate in your ceremony, Anansi. But know this, forgiveness must be earned and not just spoken. But of course, Your Majesty. As the sun sets, the ceremony begins under the moonlight. Anansi approaches the gourd first. To show sincerity, he places his hand on it. He feels nothing. It's just cool clay. Then King Julian approaches it, places his paws on the gourd. Then Maurice, then Merville, then Mort, then dozens, hundreds, thousands lining up. They touch the gourd and something strange starts to happen. The gourd starts to glow, faintly at first, then the iron dust conducting energy. The monkeys feel dizzy, light, like something is being pulled from them. One by one, two by two, every monkey on Isla Abundancia touches the gourd. And with its touch, millennial ancestral knowledge, survival instincts, problem solving, ability, social intelligence, natural wisdom flows into the gourd. Every single one of them, the gourd is blazing with light now, humming with accumulated wisdom. King Julian sits down, exhausted. And Anansi, his eyes wide open with greed and excitement. Anansi says, Eddie, it worked! It worked! Look at it! I can feel the wisdom inside. This is incredible! Eddie says, yes, my brother, Anansi, it worked perfectly. Even better than I had hoped. Anansi reaches for the gourd, but Eddie's hands get there first. Eddie places both hands on the glowing vessel and then closes his eyes and concentrates. And that's when things get weird. Anansi says, Eddie, what are you? Eddie's form starts to shimmer. His edges blur. For a moment, a terrible moment, Anansi sees what's beneath the human disguise. Something with too many angles, something that exists in colors that don't have any names. Anansi trembling, "What are you?" Eddie says, "You've asked where I was from. I said Africa, West Africa. I never lied. I just didn't specify. Which West Africa? Which planet? Which dimension? I am a collector. I travel the universe gathering wisdom. Accumulative wisdom of the entire species. And you foolish, greedy, helpful peasant. You just showed me how to build the perfect vessel for it." "No! No! That gourd is mine! We built it together!" "You told me the recipe! I provided the materials, and now I have what I came for." Eddie lifts the gourd. It begins to dissolve, becoming light, becoming pure energy, becoming absorbed into Eddie's form. And then she says, "Wait, my brother, wait! I need that! I need it for the monkeys, for my plants." "You need it? How interesting. The great Anansi admitting weakness. Perhaps there's a lesson worth learning." But Eddie isn't done. You see, before he leaves, he has one more trick to play. He turns to King Julian. He touches his forehead and unlocks something. King Julian gasps. Images flood through his memories that aren't his. Knowledge of thousands of generations. Battle strategies, survival. The trickster's tactics. King Julian says, "I can see now. I understand everything. How we were manipulated. Anansi, you are not to be trusted. You've been playing games with us from the beginning." Eddie says, "Use your newfound wisdom well, Your Majesty. As for me, I have 347 more planets to visit. 347 more species to collect from. As for you, Anansi, you've become very educational." "But Eddie, wait! We can make a deal. I can help." But Eddie is gone. Just like that. Vanished. No trace. The gourd absorbed, the wisdom stolen. And Anansi standing there, empty-handed, for the first time in centuries, helpless. The cheering has gone quiet. King Julian stands, his flowers glowing, his eyes bright, his posture is different, regal, dangerous. And around him, the other monkeys are waking up, looking at each other with new understanding. Their movements more coordinated, more intelligent. "So Anansi, it seems we've both been tricked tonight. But the difference is, I have gained something. Wisdom, clarity, understanding, and you have lost everything. The gourd, gone. Your cosmic friend, gone. Your easy solution, gone. And now you're trapped on an island with 3,000 monkeys who are no longer the simple creatures you manipulated. We understand. I understand everything that you did." Merville says, "Hey, King Julian, let's do something to him." He says, "What do our ancestral memories say about dealing with spiders who weave too many webs?" Merville says, "Well, they eventually get caught in one." The monkeys start to close in. Not chaotic, not angry, but coordinated, organized, and calculating. And Anansi, the great trickster, the spider who fooled the gods and the kings, realizes he had finally been out-tricked. Not by another trickster, not by a god, but by a cosmic being who used him like a tool. And now he must face the consequences. "Your Majesty, Please, my brother, we can talk about this. I have money. I have resources. Oh, we are going to talk, Anansi, King Julian says. We're going to talk about many things about your farm in St. Kitts. You talk about the 5 farmers you tricked with the invisible ink. Remember? We're going to talk about reparations, compensation, justice. But first, you're going to learn what it feels like to be powerless. To be continued. All right, that's it. That's a wrap. Did you like it?
Ready?
Yep.
Make another one.
Make another one. That's going to be part 3.
Yeah. What are you
Okay.
gonna do for part 3?
I don't know yet. How'd you like this one?
I mean, this is the first time Anansi got back what he deserved,
Yeah.
but I'm not used to it.
You're not used to it?
happening.
Okay. So, what we guys are going to do, you guys are going to have a chance to, chime in and pitch in and tell me what you guys want for part 3. How will Anansi really get out of this jam? Because he always gets out. So, he's going to have to somehow find a way. All right, till then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.